For whatever reason, the green versus blue bubble argument has popped up yet again, and the usual tribalism is at hand. Apple users claim their way is better, Android users claim it doesn't matter, kids are getting bullied because of it. Yep, just seems like a usual day. In all seriousness, more attention is placed on Apple's walled garden ecosystem due to several articles that have come out lately, highlighting American teenagers' desires for iPhones so they don't get bullied for not having iMessage and are included in the group chats with their friends. For starters, one piece of advice is people who will actually exclude you from their social circle because the phone you use aren't worth actually being around, and you should find a better set of friends. But despite that best advice, it's still a problem, and apparently an ever-growing one. How to fix it? That's not for me to say. So much of it is unfortunately cultural, and any intervention Apple might do will only go so far. However, the problem is almost unique to the USA. The US, among many other ways, is different from other countries and how our cell phone carriers operate. One such example that we've mentioned before on this channel is that most consumers in the US don't outright buy their phone, they just lease it from their cell carrier. Back to the topic at hand, cell carriers in the US were one of the first, and remain some of the only to offer unlimited calling and texting, even on the cheapest plans. So for Americans, there isn't really a need to install a third-party messaging app like WhatsApp, Kakao Chat, Line, you name it. Hence why iMessage is so effective in the US. It offers some of the features you might get from a third-party app that are automatically baked into the stock messaging app on an iPhone, which technically is the most prominent cell phone here in the US. This further reduces the demand for an aforementioned third-party messaging service. But while iMessage is cool, and some features are kinda neat, it's a far cry from what it could be if Apple really started to push it, especially when compared to WeChat. WeChat is the go-to messaging service in West Taiwan. I'm sorry, I meant China.
Social credit deducted.
And while it is available and offers service in other countries besides China, the Chinese version is loaded with features that are China exclusive, and I of course wouldn't recommend you downloading it if you aren't in China due to data privacy concerns. If you want a secure messenger, Signal is definitely the way to go. As an aside, it's kind of interesting how the big three East Asian economies have their own messaging service that's taken their communications by storm. South Korea has Kakao Chat, Japan has Line, and China has WeChat. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. WeChat was developed by the massive Chinese media giant Tencent in 2011, and it's only gone up from there. As alluded to, the Chinese version of the app is quite a bit different than the global version, a trend that isn't new. The Chinese WeChat goes just far beyond a messenger with basic effects or goodies baked in. It's an all-in-one communications, payment, maps, live streaming, ride sharing, bike rental, and payment platform. God, I sound like an advertisement. But seriously, it's like combining a messenger service of choice with Instagram Live, Google/Apple Maps, Uber, Apple Pay, Snapchat, YouTube communities, TikTok, and even an enterprise communications platform like Slack or Microsoft Teams. The Chinese WeChat is massive compared to the pared-down version you get outside of China. This comparison is drawn to say that iMessage has the potential to offer this much within the platform if Apple really pushed it, and some of the foundations are already there. For example, take the location sharing feature in iMessage. Apple could build it out with Uber or Lyft integration. Your friend sends you their location through iMessage, and by maybe long pressing it, it gives you the option to automatically open your rideshare app of choice with the location to go to pre-filled in, so you're ready to go at just another tap of a button. Another feature set Apple could build out is integration with Apple Pay. While you can already send money through iMessage using Apple Pay, Apple could integrate so much more into it. For example, imagine a restaurant texting you your check and paying it right through your phone. Leave a tip, of course, your server works very hard. Especially in this economy. And while Apple makes it pretty easy to FaceTime and iMessage group chat through a shortcut, this feature could also be built out as well. For example, doing an Instagram live-style stream broadcasts exclusively to the iMessage group, viewable entirely through the app. When the streamer has ended their broadcast, the archived VOD could be viewable in the group chat, just as if someone had sent a video. The bottom line here is that iMessage could be a lot more than it is if Apple really pushed it, but that could possibly open a whole new can of worms for Apple, who already narrowly fend off iMessage's exclusivity as it is. iMessage, as it stands, really isn't that good of a messaging service in general, so I believe the users that swear by it do so for two reasons. The first of which being that essentially having text messages enhanced, built in and on by default for people who are none the wiser, is good enough for users in the US. The convenience of not having to download and make an account for another app is supreme here. The second reason of which is that they don't know any better, because they never had the need to download another messenger app. Because, see reason 1. So they don't know how green the grass really could be. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Leave a comment down below. Would you like to see Apple build out iMessage a lot more, or would you rather keep it bare as it is? Do you swear by iMessage or use another app? All of this would be great to know. And while you're down there, make sure you leave a like, get subscribed with that notification bell so you know when we upload. We try to do so twice a week. Check out our podcast recorded every Saturday at 1 p.m. Arizona time live on this channel, and also check out our Instagram at tech_for_thought and Twitter at tech_4_thought. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Social credit deducted.